brilliant. So fantastic. So next up is the wonderful area manager, Amber Branson. So Amber was introduced to Arbon by the incredible Laura Eastwood, who we've heard from today as well. She became a district manager in March and an area manager by May. She's from Dorset, where she moved to from London at the age of 14. And now I'm going to go off script. So Amber literally is the blazing force for Gen Y in this business. She's got an absolutely incredible team of literally, they're all Gen Ys. It's absolutely amazing. What I was trying to, how can I best describe Amber? I mean this in a good way. She's silent but deadly, and I mean it as like she's so calm, she's so quiet, but she is absolutely incredible and such a massive force. So please welcome Amber Brunsdon. Having a good time.
Armfield and the team is for putting this incredible day together for us. So a massive round of applause. Never in a million years did I ever think I'd be stood up in front of a room of people talking about my story and telling my top tip. Never ever did I think I would be doing anything other than dancing and have the best time of my life so far. For those of you who don't know, I'm Amber Brunsdon, and I'm an area manager with Arbon International. I'm 21 years old and grew up in Battersea in London. My mum is a huge reason why I feel so driven and successful in life. She showed me what it was like to be an independent, driven businesswoman and how important it is to love your job. I grew up with her, seeing her as a massive, successful makeup artist. Since I could walk, my dream was to be a professional dancer, and I've trained in years in a variety of dance styles. My family and I moved back to Wimbledon, where my parents are from, where I carried on my passion of dancing at Ford Academy of Dance. This is where I met the amazing Laura Eastwood, as Laura has been my dance teacher for many, many years. I then went on to Queen Elizabeth School in Wimbledon, where I stayed on for sixth form until I was 18. I absolutely hated sixth form. It did not inspire me one bit, and I just had that bug to get out in the real world. Throughout sixth form, I realised I did not want to go on stage school, and I was far from a singer and an actress. I also decided this because I didn't believe in myself, and I didn't think I was good enough. 2 days after sixth form ended, I created my own dance agency called Work Girls. Work Girls is an agency full of commercial and house dancers along with promotional models. At the age of 18, I was running a business and working in nightclubs. It was so exciting and new, and I felt like I was in the real world for many reasons. I knew nothing about how to run a company, nothing about taxes, nothing about the types of insurance you needed, nothing about how to have a business with employees. I had to learn everything from scratch. It probably looked quite glamorous and fun from the outside, but in the real world it was extremely stressful, especially as it was a single type of income for me. I'd have a busy week of bookings and then absolutely nothing. Working nights does take a toll, sitting in at 5 AM every day. Looking after a group of female dancers can be tricky too. Working in nightclubs and that industry can be very judgmental at times, and not supportive or positive atmosphere to be working in. Eventually, I wanted to cut down my hours of dancing, but still, the pay I was getting was good, but not enough, not what I wanted in life. So, I decided to take on 3 more jobs. I worked at a clothing company called Inner City. I was running a lot of promotions for nightclubs in Bournemouth, and I worked as Elsa and Anna, the Disney princess, at little kids' parties. I do love kids, but entertaining a big group of 5-year-olds is quite tricky. I gave in to being my own boss, and now I was working for other people building their dreams. In November 2014, I received a lovely Facebook message from Laura Eastwood, asking if I'd like to try some makeup for a company she's just started working for. Of course I'd like to try some makeup for free. So I did, and I loved it. So we then went on to meet up for coffee in Bournemouth, where Laura presented the Discover album presentation to me. I remember sitting there, rushed from one meeting to get there, thinking about the next meeting I had to go to. I had so much going on, along with moving into my first flat with my boyfriend. The album just didn't click at that time. I just didn't see the bigger picture, and I felt too busy. It wasn't until things had calmed down 3 months later, thanks to Laura being very patient yet consistent with me, I finally replied saying, yes, I think I'm quite interested in the business now. I then went on to re-meet with her in February. She decided to bring along her sponsor, Nicola Wills, and we all sat down for a coffee and a catch-up, where Nicola and myself started to realise we had quite a few things in common. At this moment in time, I had just moved into my flat and really disliked some of my jobs, but I now had that responsibility of having to pay bills and rent. Something just clicked, and I knew I had to do Arbonne. I'm not one to do something half-heartedly if I know it's going to work and it's worth it. Live a year like others won't, to live a lifetime like others can't. I knew if I worked so hard and absolutely went for it, I could do this. In my head, Arbonne was the vehicle for me to be financially free and to give me the lifestyle I wanted, and I knew a few others that would love this too. So I messaged as many people as possible and set up as many coffee dates as I physically could, and luckily a few people said yes. So in February, I went straight into Area 12, and by March I completed. It then came to April, and my aim was 10,000 QB to be an area manager qualification. I completely believed, without a shadow of a doubt, that I could do this until a week before the end of the month. After doing countless number one-to-ones, running around like a headless chicken, doing drop-offs, parties, and also working in nightclubs at night, I felt extremely exhausted, especially after receiving a lot of no's. I walked into my flat feeling like completely defeated. I was only on about 5,000 and I needed 5,000 more. Even my boyfriend, who by the way, when I started Arbonne was completely unsupportive, but because I carried on and he saw a positive change, he slowly but surely, was extremely supportive by this time. Even he was saying, come on babe, you can do this, how much QB are you on? Wondering if he can drop me to one-to-one. He was there cheering me on and I was having none of it. But I felt like completely giving up and I went to bed wanting to quit. I woke up the next morning realising that it was completely up to me to remotivate myself. I realised that I was just having a fun 5 minutes and a bad evening. I completely remembered everything I read and audios I listened to and reminded myself of my achievements so far, and I told myself I can do this. I thought to myself, even if I get to 9,000, my paycheck will still be more than what it's sitting at now. This was a massive challenge to me, and I was absolutely going for it. I completely believed anything was possible. I did everything I physically could in the spare time I had to get to my goal. I remember specifically listening to GoPro as an audio in my car, rushing to meetings, being always 5 minutes late, so I'm such a late person. But I was so rushed, but I was going to do this. I did so much, and the positive energy, hard work, and asking the universe for what I wanted reflected on my business massively. It came to Thursday the 30th of April 2015, the last day of the month, and 10 p.m. hit. My goal was 10,000 for Area 12, and I finished the month on just under 14,000 QB. Not only did I hit my target of 10,000, I reached 14,000. I remember specifically Stuart messaging me saying, yeah, you've done it, hit 14,000, and I absolutely took that on and went for it. Being an area manager is an absolutely incredible feeling. All that hard work and effort is completely worth it, which brings me on to my top tip. However cliche and simple this is, I truly believe this is what has got me my success so far. Believe in yourself. This doesn't just mean believing and visualising you can do it without actually doing any activity. This means putting all the effort in you can, being in an income-producing activity because you believe in yourself. You believe you can do this because you are capable. The only person that is going to give you what you want in life and give you happiness is yourself. It's all down to you. The moment I joined Arbonne, I only had one goal, and that was money. I wanted to make lots of money and live a glamorous lifestyle and just have and do whatever I want. But now there's so much more to it. What Arbonne has given me so far is priceless. I now have visions of teaching personal development in schools and to teenagers. As I believe as children, we have amazing dreams, but somehow due to lack of personal development in schools, these dreams disappear, which leaves many people to live a life of mediocrity and unfulfillment. As I'm 21 years old, I fit the category of Generation Y, and I have to say how driven and open-minded I find the people around me to be. As most of my team are Gen Y, we all seem to relate to each other when it comes to wanting to be successful and financially independent. A lot of us have been taught from a young age, if you don't go to uni and don't have the grades on paper, you just can't have a successful career. We disagree, and as do many others. I feel like our generation are almost rebelling, as I've seen so many people start from scratch and become young entrepreneurs. Most of the people I know, including me, do not come from billionaire backgrounds and do not have the money to invest massively in businesses from scratch. But what we can afford is a business in a box for £56, as we usually spend that on a night out in town. We also have the drive and determination to never give up, because we know what we want to have in our lives. I and many others want a job in our lives where we see our family whenever we want. We work with our best friends. I especially never ever want to work for someone else for the rest of my life. And I want to work in an incredible community of incredible people, which I do. I'm so excited for my future and the futures of everyone around me, and I hope to change more people's lives for the better. If you are ever stuck and feeling unmotivated, know that it's up to you. Believe in yourself and get into income-producing activity, as it will actually make you feel better. Be stronger than your excuses. Successful people aren't lucky, they succeed on purpose. Fully believe in yourself and you're halfway there. I do hope you've enjoyed my stories. Stuart, thank you so much for asking me to talk, and thank you everyone for listening.